The hidden science behind blood sugar mastery. After 60 every morning, your body performs a silent experiment, one that decides how your blood sugar, energy, and metabolism will behave for the next 12 hours. For millions of adults living with diabetes or prediabetes, the results of that experiment determine whether they'll feel balanced and alert or exhausted and foggy before noon. Most people focus only on medications, glucose monitors, and strict diets. But what if I told you that the secret to stable blood sugar lies not in what you avoid, but in what you do first thing in the morning? In this video, we'll explore 10 simple habits proven by science to support insulin sensitivity, reduce sugar spikes, and restore energy naturally. You'll learn how the first sip of your morning drink sets your metabolism for the day, how light movement can replace insulin, and how your body reacts to the food, water, and even sunlight you consume within the first 30 minutes of waking. These are the same strategies I've used with patients for over 20 years, not quick fixes, but small, consistent habits that reprogram the body for longevity and balance. So grab a notebook, settle in, and stay until the very end, because I'll share the final habit that's been shown to reverse insulin resistance naturally without medication. I'm Dr. Adam Watanabe, and today we're going to rebuild your mornings, one habit at a time.
Never eat this at breakfast if you're diabetic. Every morning, the first thing you eat sets your blood sugar tone for the next 12 hours. For people living with diabetes, this single choice can mean the difference between stable glucose or dangerous spikes that quietly damage nerves, eyes, and the heart. Most people think breakfast means energy, but in reality, the wrong meal floods your body with sugar before you've even started your day. Your blood sugar shoots up, insulin rushes in, and your cells get overwhelmed, triggering the cycle of fatigue, cravings, and inflammation that lasts all day. Here's the real secret most doctors never explain. Your morning meal doesn't just feed you, it programs your metabolism. It decides how your body will handle every bite of food that follows. If you start with processed carbs, cereals, white bread, or sweetened coffee, your glucose response stays elevated for hours, even if your lunch is healthy. Scientists call this the second meal effect, and it's one of the main reasons diabetics struggle to control A1C despite dieting. But the good news is, once you understand the chemistry of breakfast, you can flip the switch. In this video, we'll uncover what foods to avoid first thing in the morning, what to replace them with, and how one simple breakfast change can flatten your blood sugar curve and restore energy all day long. Stay until the end because I'll reveal a morning combination clinically proven to improve insulin sensitivity by up to 35%. The hidden breakfast trap: how healthy foods spike blood sugar. Every morning, millions of people unknowingly start their day with what they think is a healthy breakfast, a glass of orange juice, whole grain cereal, or toast with jam. But inside your body, these foods behave nothing like health food. The moment they hit your stomach, enzymes begin breaking down the starches into glucose, and that glucose floods your bloodstream within minutes. Your pancreas panics, releasing a surge of insulin to force sugar into your cells. For someone with diabetes or insulin resistance, this system is already strained. The result? A rapid spike followed by a sharp crash that leaves you tired, hungry, and craving more sugar. Even so-called whole grain cereals or oatmeal packets are often loaded with maltose, fructose, and artificial fibers that digest almost as fast as white bread. Add a cup of juice, even fresh, and you've just consumed the sugar equivalent of 6 to 8 teaspoons before 9 a.m. Scientists call this the breakfast insulin shock. When repeated daily, it damages the insulin receptors in your liver and muscles, forcing your pancreas to work harder over time, a key driver of type 2 diabetes progression. And here's the surprising part: even zero-sugar foods can be a problem. Artificial sweeteners in diabetic-friendly yogurts or protein bars confuse the gut microbiome and trick the brain into releasing more insulin. That's why so many people feel dizzy or fatigued mid-morning, even when they did everything right. The truth? The breakfast most diabetics are told to eat is the one that keeps them sick.
The science of stable blood sugar, what your first bite really does. When you take your first bite in the morning, something powerful happens inside your body. Your digestive system wakes up, your pancreas prepares to release insulin, and your liver shifts gears, deciding whether to burn fat or store it. This first interaction between food and metabolism sets off a chain reaction that controls energy, cravings, and even mood for the entire day. If that first bite is high in carbs or sugar, your glucose spikes fast. Insulin rushes to remove it from your blood, and within hours you crash. Your brain mistakes that crash for low energy, forcing you to eat again. This is how the average diabetic unknowingly enters a 12-hour glucose roller coaster, where blood sugar never truly stabilizes. But if your first bite contains protein, fiber, and healthy fats, your body reacts completely differently. The rise in blood sugar is slower, the insulin response is gentler, and energy lasts for hours. Even your hormones shift. Cortisol drops, ghrelin, the hunger hormone, calms, and leptin, the satiety hormone, starts working again. That's why people who fix their breakfast often notice sharper focus, fewer sugar cravings, and steadier mood by the second week. Here's what scientists have found. The first 30 minutes of your day determine how sensitive your cells will be to insulin for the next 12 hours. Start with sugar, and you train your cells to resist insulin. Start with balance, and you train them to respond again, reversing the damage at its root. The good news? You can reprogram this cycle starting tomorrow morning.
The sugar memory effect. Why one bad breakfast affects you for days. Your body remembers what you eat, literally. When you start the day with a high sugar breakfast, your blood sugar rises sharply and a flood of glucose enters your bloodstream. But the problem doesn't end when it goes down. Inside your cells, something called glycation begins. This process attaches sugar molecules to proteins and fats in your body, forming sticky compounds known as AGEs, advanced glycation end products. These AGEs are like microscopic rust. They stiffen arteries, damage nerves, and slow the regeneration of tissues, especially in the eyes and kidneys, two of the organs most affected by diabetes. Even worse, once glycation happens, it's permanent. Your body can't reverse it. It can only prevent more from forming. That's why just one bad breakfast, pancakes, sugary cereal, or sweetened coffee can cause effects that linger for days. Your insulin sensitivity drops, your muscles store less glucose, and inflammation rises. Studies show that a single glucose spike over 160 milligrams DL can make insulin receptors up to 20% less responsive for the next 48 hours. This is what I call the sugar memory effect. Your body remembers the inflammation, and your next meal will cause a faster, stronger spike. That's why so many diabetics struggle, not because they eat bad all the time, but because the morning after one indulgence, their metabolism is still inflamed. But there's a fix, a way to reset the system naturally. It begins with one simple adjustment to your breakfast plate. The ideal morning nutrient combo for diabetics, and why timing matters. After studying hundreds of blood glucose profiles, researchers discovered something remarkable. It's not just what you eat in the morning, but how you combine and time it that determines your glucose stability. The perfect diabetic breakfast isn't about cutting everything out, it's about balancing signals in your body. To flatten your glucose curve, you need 3 key nutrients working together: protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Protein, like eggs, Greek yogurt, or lean fish, slows down the absorption of sugar and keeps insulin levels stable. Fiber, from chia seeds, flaxseed, or vegetables, acts like a sponge, trapping glucose and releasing it gradually. Healthy fats, from avocado, olive oil, or nuts, trigger hormones that keep you full for hours and reduce cravings later in the day. But timing is everything. Eat protein first, and you'll reduce the glucose response from the rest of your meal by up to 30%. This is because protein activates receptors in your small intestine that send a message to the pancreas. Prepare for carbs, don't overreact. Follow it with fiber and fat, and your digestion slows even more, transforming your blood sugar pattern from a sharp peak into a gentle wave. That's the power of nutrient sequencing. It's why 2 people can eat the same meal, yet one spikes and crashes, while the other stays stable. When you eat smartly, not just healthily, your body becomes its own glucose regulator. And the best part? You don't have to give up flavor, just reorder how your body experiences it. Why coffee can be both a cure and a curse for diabetics. For millions, the day doesn't begin until that first sip of coffee. But for diabetics, that morning ritual can be either medicine or a metabolic trap. Coffee contains powerful compounds like chlorogenic acid, known to slow glucose absorption in the gut and improve insulin sensitivity. Studies show that people who drink black coffee in moderation may have a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes, as chlorogenic acid helps the liver regulate sugar release. It also boosts metabolism slightly, supporting fat burning and energy throughout the day. But the same cup can backfire, depending on what's in it and when you drink it. If you add sugar, flavored syrups, or even milk high in lactose, you transform a metabolic ally into a glucose bomb. A single sweetened latte can deliver more carbs than a donut. Even artificial sweeteners can trick your body into releasing insulin, mimicking the effect of sugar. Timing matters too. When you drink coffee on an empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning, cortisol, your stress hormone, is naturally high. Coffee amplifies that cortisol spike, which in turn raises blood sugar temporarily. Do this daily, and your fasting glucose may start creeping up without you realizing why. The key is balance. Drink coffee after eating, ideally paired with a protein-rich meal like eggs or Greek yogurt. Skip the sugar and consider adding a pinch of cinnamon, a natural compound that enhances insulin sensitivity. Coffee isn't the enemy, it's a tool, but for diabetics, using it at the wrong time or with the wrong mix can undo everything you've worked to fix. The morning drink that rebuilds insulin sensitivity, and you already have it at home. Before you reach for coffee or juice, remember this: the most powerful drink for your blood sugar doesn't come in a fancy bottle. It's water, the simplest, most overlooked therapy for insulin resistance. After 8 hours of sleep, your body wakes up slightly dehydrated. When dehydration sets in, blood becomes thicker, glucose concentration rises, and your cells struggle to absorb sugar efficiently. Your kidneys try to compensate by filtering excess glucose out, but they can only do so much, which is why many diabetics wake up with elevated fasting blood sugar levels. Drinking a full glass of water first thing in the morning helps dilute the glucose in your bloodstream, supports kidney filtration, and stimulates metabolism. Even mild hydration improves insulin sensitivity by as much as 20%, according to several clinical trials. But there's more. Add a pinch of unrefined mineral salt rich in magnesium and potassium, and you instantly replenish electrolytes that help glucose move into your cells. If you squeeze in a bit of fresh lemon, you boost vitamin C and polyphenols, which reduce oxidative stress, one of the key causes of insulin resistance. This simple habit resets your metabolic clock before breakfast. It primes your digestive system, supports circulation, and prevents the cortisol-driven sugar spike that often follows the first meal of the day. In other words, the best morning drink for diabetics isn't expensive, exotic, or complicated. It's already sitting in your kitchen, and the way you drink it, slowly, within the first 15 minutes of waking, can decide how your blood sugar behaves for the next 12 hours. The worst healthy drinks for diabetics and what to use instead. Walk through any supermarket and you'll see shelves of drinks labeled healthy, sugar-free, or made for diabetics. But behind the marketing lies a dangerous truth. Most of these beverages spike insulin just as much as sugar, sometimes even worse. Let's start with fruit juices. Even 100% natural orange or apple juice delivers a sugar hit equivalent to 7-9 teaspoons. Without the fiber from the whole fruit, that sugar rushes into your bloodstream like liquid candy. Studies show that a single glass of fruit juice can raise blood sugar faster than a bowl of rice. Next come plant-based milks, almond, oat, soy. While some are healthy, many contain maltose or rice syrup, both high glycemic sweeteners disguised under fancy names. Even unsweetened oat milk can raise blood sugar due to its high starch content. Then there are the energy drinks and vitamin waters. Marketed as fitness boosters, they often contain hidden sugars or artificial sweeteners that disrupt the gut microbiome, increasing insulin resistance over time. And here's the most deceptive one: smoothies. While they seem like a healthy choice, most commercial smoothies combine high fructose fruits with yogurt or protein powders sweetened with sucralose or aspartame. The result? A blood sugar roller coaster that leaves you fatigued an hour later. So what should you drink instead? Go for water with lemon, unsweetened green tea, or infused water with cucumber and mint. These hydrate, stabilize glucose, and reduce inflammation. Remember, not everything labeled diabetic friendly is safe. The key is understanding what your body does with what you drink. The 30-minute rule, the perfect morning routine for blood sugar control. If you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, your first 30 minutes after waking up decide how your blood sugar will behave for the entire day. Most people wake, grab coffee, skip breakfast, or rush straight into stress, and by doing so, they unknowingly sabotage their metabolism before 8 a.m. Here's why this window matters so much. When you wake up, cortisol, your alert hormone, naturally rises. This isn't bad, it's how your body gets ready for the day. But if you skip hydration, delay eating, or load up on caffeine, that cortisol spike turns into a glucose surge. Your liver releases stored sugar, your pancreas scrambles to balance insulin, and within minutes you've already started your day with inflammation. The 30-minute rule fixes this. The moment you wake up, start with a full glass of mineral water to hydrate and dilute your blood glucose. Within 15 minutes, do light movement, walking, stretching, or deep breathing to wake up your muscles and encourage glucose uptake without insulin. Then eat a protein-rich breakfast like boiled eggs, Greek yogurt, or a handful of nuts before touching coffee. Protein stabilizes glucose, prevents spikes, and signals to your brain that your metabolism is safe. Only after that should you have your coffee, ideally black or with cinnamon, which further supports insulin sensitivity. It's not magic, it's physiology. The first 30 minutes of your morning aren't just a routine, they're a metabolic reset button that determines how your body handles sugar all day long. The hidden link between sleep and blood sugar spikes. You might think blood sugar problems begin at breakfast, but in truth, they often start the night before. When you don't sleep well, your blood sugar rises even if you eat perfectly the next day. Why? Because poor sleep directly disrupts how your body uses insulin. During deep sleep, your muscles act like silent sponges, pulling glucose from your bloodstream and storing it as energy. But when you cut sleep short, even by just 2 hours, your cells become resistant to insulin. In clinical studies, one bad night of sleep has been shown to reduce insulin sensitivity by up to 30% the next morning. And there's more. Lack of sleep increases cortisol, the stress hormone that tells your liver to dump stored sugar into your blood, even if you haven't eaten anything. It also raises ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and suppresses leptin, the satiety signal, making you crave carbs and sugar. This is why so many diabetics wake up with high fasting glucose despite eating clean. Their bodies aren't broken, they're just exhausted. The solution isn't complicated. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of consistent sleep, avoid screens and heavy meals before bed, and instead, finish your last meal 3 hours before sleeping. A small cup of chamomile or magnesium glycinate tea can help calm the nervous system, reduce inflammation, and improve insulin sensitivity overnight. Remember, controlling diabetes isn't just about food or medicine, it's also about giving your body time to repair. Because when you rest, your blood sugar rests too. The final morning habit that can reverse insulin resistance naturally. After years of studying diabetes and metabolism, I can tell you this: the simplest habits often make the biggest difference, and one of the most overlooked tools for reversing insulin resistance is morning sunlight. Yes, sunlight. When you expose your eyes and skin to natural light within 30 minutes of waking, something remarkable happens inside your body. Your brain releases serotonin, which later converts into melatonin, regulating your sleep, appetite, and metabolism. But that's not all. Early sunlight exposure synchronizes your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that controls when your cells use energy. In diabetics, this clock is often out of sync. Late nights, artificial lights, and indoor mornings confuse the body into thinking it's still dark, delaying metabolism and insulin response. That's why people who skip morning light tend to feel sluggish, hungry, and crave sugar early in the day. A 2022 study found that just 10 minutes of morning sunlight improved insulin sensitivity by up to 20% in adults with prediabetes without any diet changes. Sunlight triggers the release of nitric oxide from the skin, helping blood vessels relax and improving nutrient delivery to muscles, the very mechanism that helps your body clear sugar from the bloodstream naturally. Here's how to do it right. Step outside within 30 minutes of waking. Look toward the horizon, not directly at the sun. Breathe deeply and let the light hit your face and arms. Even cloudy days work. Natural light is still powerful enough to reset your metabolism. Combine this with hydration, movement, and protein, and you've built the perfect metabolic morning. Because true healing isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right small things every single day. Small habits, big healing. Your new morning blueprint. Now you know what most doctors never tell their patients. That diabetes management isn't about restriction, it's about rhythm. Your body wants to heal, it just needs the right timing, the right nutrients, and a calm, steady start to each day. Hydrate, move lightly, eat protein first, and let sunlight touch your skin. These may seem like small actions, but inside your body, they trigger powerful changes, lowering inflammation, improving insulin response, and awakening your metabolism at the cellular level. You don't need to chase perfection, you need consistency. Because every balanced morning adds up to better focus, stronger muscles, and years of better health. If this video inspired you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who's fighting the same battle. And tell me in the comments which of these habits will you start tomorrow morning. I'm Dr. Adam Watanabe, reminding you that healing begins not with fear, but with understanding. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.